Chosen vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man Drutube, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every vessel to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it. The events in life will catch you off guard when they're unsuspected. Sometimes things happen that you don't expect. Sometimes things are good. Everything is going well. Everything is going as it should. And then, boom, things start to become troublesome. Things start to get hard. Things start to get difficult. You go into a storm. And then sometimes, even when you get out that storm, there's another one right after it. So be prepared. In life, you will have multiple storms that you go in. You will have multiple storms that are in your life happening right now. All right, you may have more than one storm coming at you at once. You may get out of one storm and end up moseying right into the next one. Yes, I said it, moseying. Yo, mosey right on into that storm because it hasn't come to stay. It came to pass. And that's how you have to view the storms in life. A storm is a phase of life that you go through that's not the most positive. It may have an effect on your life that you'll never forget. It may be a time so difficult and so troublesome and so hard and such a test that you really had to dig deep and find whatever you had to find within yourself to keep going. You had to find that strength, that courage, that resilience, that resilient spirit to keep going. Because storms will break you down. Storms will destroy you if you let them. If a person doesn't have faith like Noah did when he built that ark, if a person doesn't have faith like all the people that laughed at Noah, they didn't have faith. All the people that laughed at Noah, they didn't have faith. All the people that said that he was wasting his time and that there was no flood and that nothing was going to happen, that is a representation of in life there are going to be bad times and you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for good times, right? Be prepared for good times, but also you have to be aware that good times aren't the only times that you're going to have. You don't want to necessarily prepare for bad times, but you want to be prepared for just life in general. And that's what that story, that is one of the messages that you can take from that story besides trusting in God. But you want to be able to be prepared for life. And a person who trusts God is prepared for life, all right? Because God says there's multiple seasons in life. There's going to be a time to be happy, a time to be sad. All right, so there's different seasons in life. There's times where you win, there's times where you lose. There's times where things that you would like to happen, and there's times that things that are undesirable, less desirable, those things take place. Sometimes you walk right out of one storm and you enter into another. But just because you may be storm hopping, just because it seems like there are all these storms and there's all this bad weather, all right, and the clouds are gray and it's raining and it's thundering and the weather's all bad, it doesn't mean that things are all bad for you. And what that is a representation of is just because things look bad on the outside of life doesn't mean that things aren't doing well for you on the inside of life. Doesn't mean that things aren't doing well for you. It doesn't mean that just because things are going wrong doesn't mean you have to go wrong with them. And you don't. When things go wrong, you don't have to go wrong with them. When things aren't going the way you want them to, you are able to continue to focus on something positive so that way you can keep your mind in a positive state. Because there are going to be times in life where you go from something good happening, where it seems like nothing could go wrong and everything's going right, your finances are right, your life is good, your relationships are going good with your friends and all the people you know and the people at your job and your family and friends and all that. And now something changes. All right, maybe there's a change in your finances. Maybe, God forbid, loss happens. Maybe a loved one passes away, God forbid. All right, maybe someone at your job takes your position. All right, you didn't know, they stabbed you in the back. Maybe someone had it out for you the whole entire time, that was smiling in your face, and now they wanted to stab you in the back because they secretly had some jealousy toward you. Sometimes there are storms in life. Sometimes things are going well, your business is going well, money is coming in great, things are looking how it's supposed to go, and then there's a dip, there's a downside. All right, there's something that comes up that you didn't expect. All right, maybe sales aren't doing as good that month. Maybe the numbers aren't doing what you thought they would do that month. But it doesn't mean that you need to give up. Some people may see that and quit. Some people may see that and go into another business. Some people may see that and feel it's not worth it anymore for them to continue on with this business. But they don't realize it's just a storm. When storms come, those who endure them, those who get through them, they come out stronger. All right, when the storm comes, you end up having the experience of a person that's been through something, that's been through some storms. All right, when you see a movie and they have a captain of a ship, all right, and the storm comes and the person's being thrown all around, waves are messing up the boat, all right, they have to pull all the masses down and settle the ship and get the ship to be settled within the waters, even though the water is not settled. They have to find a way to match the direction of the wind patterns, so that way they can keep their boat floating, they can keep their boat afloat. All right, I'm not I'm not a captain of a ship, so I'm doing my best here trying to describe that, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. You get my point. So you have to do the same thing in life. When that storm comes and the wind is blowing real violently, all right, it's a real violent storm, you have to be in control of your ship enough to where you can find some balance, to where you can stay calm. The captain of the ship, everybody else is running frantically. The captain of the ship is calm. He's been through a few storms. He's been through some things. He understands how to keep his boat afloat in the midst of a violent storm, in the midst of a rough storm, in the midst of a rough experience. Sometimes in life, things are going to be calm and the waters are going to be still and it's going to be a nice, bright, sunny day, and you're going to be able to get to where you need to go smoothly without any rough terrain. And then sometimes things get violent. All right, sometimes I had to wake y'all up. All right, sometimes things are going to get violent. All right, sometimes when things get violent, you have to you have to be ready for that. In the sense of being able to handle how you're going to feel during those times. And for most cases, you really won't know until you get there. But that's where your faith comes into play. And a lot of people are not aware of how to properly use their faith, and we're going to get into it. All right, your faith comes into play when times where it needs to be in action are taking place. So instead of choosing the fear route, something is happening. I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm afraid. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Oh man, this is hard. This is difficult. I don't know what Instead of taking that route with your mind, you want to calm down. I can handle this. I've got this. I can do this. I'm going to be okay. All right. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad it looks, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be all right. You have to be able to speak to yourself. Sometimes you got to be able to call yourself out. All right. I've heard multiple people say this. All right. So you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Nobody needs a straitjacket. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself and call yourself out. A lot of highly intelligent people talk to themselves. A lot of people are unaware of that, but a lot of highly intelligent people talk to themselves and they answer themselves too. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those, all right? Long as you're fully functional and you're able to take care of yourself. But there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself during a time where you're trying to figure something out, during a time where things are seeming hard or difficult. You're supposed to speak to yourself, because you're going to get some answers that you may not get from anybody else. And as a great man once said, if you have a conversation with yourself, don't take it for granted, because it might be the only intelligent conversation that you have. So you have to be aware that there's nothing wrong with being able there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. If you're aware that you need to talk to yourself, just do it. Don't worry about how people are going to think. All you're doing is calming yourself down, chilling yourself out, putting yourself in a relaxed, comfortable state to where you can get things accomplished. All right, because when you're in a state to where you're frantic, when you're in a state to where you're not focused, when you're in a state to where you're panicking, then you're going to be less likely to be able to focus, concentrate, and take some steps to move you forward, take some steps to get you through the storm, take some steps to make sure you don't mess up, fall over, or drown. All right, you're bound to drizzle. All right, you don't want to be bound to drizzle. All right, so in life, when these storms come, you need to know that there's going to be good days and there's going to be days that aren't so good. All right, I wouldn't even call them bad days, because only a bad day is when you're not here. That's a real bad day. All right, a bad day is when you no longer can experience bad days. All right, if you don't know you're having a bad day, if you don't know you're having any kind of day, that's the worst kind of day. So I'm pretty sure you could pick up the gist of what I'm saying with that. All right. As another saying from a great man that I've heard once said, he said, if you think you're having a bad day, try missing one. And like, I thought about that and I was like, you know what I'm going through is not that bad. Try missing one, like you croak. No thanks. I'd rather go through what it is I'm going through. At least I'm alive. And that's how you have to look at it. All right. So this storm is not going to kill you. It's not going to take your life. This storm is just a test. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test your faith. It's going to test your strength. And back to your faith. When you're going through something and it starts to feel like you can't do it, it starts to feel like it's stronger than you. It starts to feel like it's better than you. It's bigger than you. It's more powerful than you. This is this is you in panic mode. This is you not thinking that you're going to make it. This is you thinking that you're going to die because you're going through something, and you're not going to die just because you're going through something. And this is why I stress the point of regaining control of your mind in the form of faith, looking at it from a faith point of view. You can say you believe in God, you can say you have faith, you can say all these things, but when the time comes and the pressure hits and you mentally are dealing with a situation that calls for you to have faith, the person who really has faith is the person who knows how to use their mind and control their mind. That's where faith takes place. It takes place in the mind. That's where courage takes place in the mind. That's where belief takes place in the mind. That's where strength takes place. All these things take place mentally. So you can say all these things and want to be all these things, but they have to be taking place mentally. It has to be something that is happening in your mind. All right, so that way it can happen physically. So these storms aren't mentally, but they happen. Sometimes the storms are mental. I'm not gonna say that, but for gist of this video, you understand what I'm saying. The storms are taking place outwardly. It's something that you're dealing with, something that you're going through, something that randomly happens. They let you go at your job. You need to meet a certain quota by the end of the week. That seems nearly impossible. It's going to cause you to have to stay up all crazy and not get any sleep. Something happens to where a life-changing, altering event happens to where now things are different and your life is slightly altered. All right, things, or it might be something drastic, something that happened, and now things are never going to be the same. You have to move, you have to relocate, you have to go to a whole new area. All right, sometimes there's loss of loved ones, God forbid. All right, whatever storm you're going through, if you're coming out of a storm and going right into another storm, just know that you going through all these storms is going to make you not totally storm resistant, but you're going to be resistant to certain elements that are taking place. All right, like you're going to be resistant to not having storms in your life. All right, you're going to be resistant to not having experience. So you're going to have experience no matter what keeps happening in your life, even though it may be hard, even though it may seem difficult. Whatever is taking place in your life, you're going to be able to get through it, and you're going to have some courage to get through this thing. You're going to be able to believe in yourself enough to see a way out. All right. Some people, they get frantic, they panic, and that's it. All right. They fold under pressure. They fold in that moment, and they just give up. And that's not you. You're the type of person that can withstand the pressure. You're the type of person that's going to make it through the storm. All right, after the storm, what do you see? The person is back to calm waters. The sun comes back out, clouds spread apart. You hear the birds start to chirp again. You hear the animals and everything. All you have to do is know that this storm is temporary. It's nothing that has come to stay. It's something that has come to pass. All the negative things in your life are going to pass. All right, they're here for you to experience them momentarily. They're here for you for your strength to be tested. They're here for you to refocus your mind on the things that are good, on the things that are positive, on the things that are going to continue to keep you feeling joyful and elevated and happy. You don't want to focus on things that are robbing your happiness. You may have some thoughts right now that are defeating you for every good purpose. Your thoughts might be telling you you're not good enough, you're not going to make it, you're not strong enough to get through this, but you are. And it's all in our mind. Like, I wish I had some video. I wish somebody would make some videos like this for me. All right. But luckily they have, because I'm here making them for you. All right. So your mind plays a very huge part in the success that you're going to achieve. Your mind plays a really big part in the storms that you're going to overcome. And in life, there's not just going to be one storm. Life is pretty much like the weather. It's always going to change. If you can accept that life is like the weather, sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not nice, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's uncomfortable. If you can accept life from that point of view, you'll be able to accept life a lot better and a lot easier than other people. And when things happen, you'll just take it as normal. And I think everyone has their own way of being able to judge life, accept life, and take that in. I'm sure they do. But having the type of mind that I have, like, I would always wonder like how people could get through certain things. And it's like, because going through things would be really difficult for me, and I would have a lot of anxiety. I'd have a lot of like I would just think the worst was going to happen. I think that I was going to die just because I was going through something. But that doesn't have to be you. You don't have to feel that way about the storms that you go through, because you're always going to come out of it alive. It's just a storm in life. Keep your faith. Know that things are going to work out for you, and they will. All right, either way. If you think it's going to work out and it's not, or you think it's not going to work out, you're still going to come out of it. But you're going to be in the shape of your thoughts. So if you think it's going to work out, you're going to be in the shape of your thoughts. You think it's not going to work out, you're going to be in the shape of your thoughts. If you think it's not going to work out, then you're not going to be in good shape. If you think it's not going to work out, then you're going to be in a state of panic. You're going to be in a state of worry. You're going to be doing the worst that you could possibly ever be doing mentally when it comes to going through this storm. And in life, there are things that you just have to go through. It's a part of life. Things are not always going to be sunshine and nice days. Sometimes there's going to be storms. It's going to be rough. That you're going to get hit with the elements. The terrain will change. It might be a flood one day, might be a snowstorm the other day, might be a tornado the next day. You want to be mentally prepared. You want to know that, all right, I'm having some fun. Life is going well. You don't want to focus on anything bad or anything negative, but you want to be prepared. And how you prepare. So depending on what you're going through in life, you have to keep your head up, and you have to know that it's only temporary. You have to know that this isn't the end for me. You have to know that I can get through this. Everyone who's lived life, who's having a successful life, who's living a life that they want, everyone has had to go through something. Everyone has had to do something that they didn't want to do. Everyone has had to do something that was uncomfortable. All right, they had to go through something. They may not have had enough while they had to go through it. Maybe everyone was able to drive to work, they had to walk. Maybe everyone was able to drive to work, they had to catch a bus or ride a bike. All right, maybe everyone has a home, you have an apartment, or you live some other kind of way. All right, whatever you're going through, whatever storm you're currently in, whatever is currently taking place in your life, you have more power than it. And I had someone that really, I wish I had someone that really drove this on home, because it was a point in my life where I thought that because I wasn't where I was supposed to be, or I thought because I didn't have what I was supposed to have, it would never happen. And it worried me to death. And I was in a constant storm, and in a self-induced storm, and in a constant state of confusion and worry and doubt, because I was constantly judging myself, constantly worried about other people, as far as like, not like jealous, but like, I gotta get myself together because look at everybody else's life that's perfect, because they have this car, this job, this house. I'm thinking everybody's life is perfect, and my life sucks because there's certain things that they have that I don't have. And you don't have to judge yourself like that, or live like that. It takes too much stress. It puts too much stress on you to where you can't even think straight. But some of the environments that we're in are putting us underneath that stress. Some of the environments that we're in are putting us underneath that stress, and some of the environments that we're in are making us feel that way. We're feeling like we can't have enough, or we can't be enough, or we can't do enough, because some of the people that are around us are not that positive. And when some of the people that are around you are not that positive, they could make you feel like you're never going to get to where you want. They could make you feel like it will never happen for you, because that's their idea. Maybe when they were in a storm, they let their storm get the best of them. Or maybe when they were in their storm, they took a different direction. That's another thing. One more thing before I leave. When you're in a storm, don't allow it to make you take another direction. With that storm shouldn't allow you to make you take another direction. Don't give up, stay your course, and keep going. You have to go through the storm. There's no going around it. There's no other way to go. If this is the route you want to take, because whatever direction you choose to take in life, there's going to be storms. Even if you choose to just live a regular life where you wake up, go to work every day, and come home, there's still going to be difficulties. There's still going to be tragedy. There's still going to be, God forbid, there's still going to be lesser than desirable experiences that you would want. So, like I say, you might as well live your life and do something that you want. Life is only going to be as good as you choose to make it. So you might as well do something that you love to do, so that way you have a more of a choice of how your life is going to go. That's the only reason why you want to become successful. That's the only reason why you want to believe in yourself, so that way you can have control and power over your life. Not to stunt, ball out, throw money up in the air. That's just a part. That's one small part of it. I know that part is kind of played. I'm not gonna say it's played out. You tell somebody don't have no money, you give them a lot, you think they're not gonna throw it, you crazy. But one thing I will say is that it's more to success than that, and they show that only. So when people go through things on their way to whatever success is for them, might be a house on a farm with some animals, all right, maybe a very plain uh, you know, uh, gratitude filled lifestyle. Excuse me. But maybe you don't want that much, and that's fine. But there's still going to be storms in life that you're going to have to get through and go through. And you're going to have faith in your ability to be able to overcome these storms, to be able to make it through them, and to be able to get to the other side. So that way you can get through the rough weather and the horrible times in life, to the better weather and better times in life. All right. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button, and don't forget to subscribe. It's been another Drutube special. I'll see you in the next one. We out.